this. A lot of companies, especially smaller ones out there, they don't want to use voicemail. They believe that they want that live interaction with their customers, and it's usually the older folks and things like that. We don't want voicemail. So I asked them, I say, what if I could give you the features of voicemail, but your customers calling in would never know it? And they'll say, well, what do you mean? And I'll say, well, do you like the record feature, being able to record calls and being able to record meetings and memos and things like that? Yeah. I say, well, watch this. Let's say a call comes in. I answer the call. Liberty Communications, how can I help you? Okay, yeah, you want to talk to Doug? I saw Doug step out to lunch just a minute ago. What I can do is I can hit record and Doug's button. Doug stepped out to lunch right now. Can I take a message? All right, I'll make sure he gets it. You never actually sent them to voicemail. What you did was you recorded it into their voicemail. So the customers never actually hear someone's voicemail, but you're still utilizing it on the system. You can still record calls, memos, and all the features of voicemail. No one ever has to record a call within the office again. Just hit record. I'm sorry, nobody has to take a handwritten message in the office again. Just record in their button.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a new one for me.
Message.
You know that one?
I knew that one.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing we'll go to is we're going to go down this list of features over here. So your greetings. Usually what I'll do, Jerry, is when I'm sitting in front of a customer, I'll say, okay, what system are you guys on again? And they'll go, we're on an NEC or a Toshiba or whatever. I'll say, okay, show of hands, how many people in here can actually change the personal greeting on your current phone system? Most of the time, nobody will raise their hands, or the one person will go up. I'll say, okay, are you in charge of the phone system? Yeah, okay, I figured you could do it, but who else can do it? And if they say, but if a few of them raise their hands, say, okay, well, how do you do that? And make them actually think about the steps, because it can be difficult on most phone systems. I say, here's how you do it on our system. I'm going to let you hear the greeting first.
Hi, this is Amy. I'm on the phone or have stepped away from my desk. Please leave me a message at the tone, and I'll call back as soon as possible.
So you're in greeting, I'm in the office but away from my desk. So if you want to change it, just hit the button.
Hi, this is
then
Amy.
re-record.
I'm on. Begin recording your personal greeting at the tone. Press 1 when finished.
Hello, this is Jason. I'm in the office today but away from my desk. Leave a message and I'll get back to you. Hello, this is Jason. I'm in the office today but away from my desk. Leave a message and I'll get back to you. Okay? So your out greeting sounds like this.
Hi, this is Amy. I will be out of the office today, but please leave a message after the tone and I'll return your call when I get back. If you need to speak to me right now, you can dial 4 now to reach me on my cell phone.
Okay, so this one right here is, whichever button is lit green, that's the feature that that's the greeting that you're currently in. So if you press the out greeting, it lights green, and that's what your customers are going to hear. Now you can change it the same way, out greet and record at any time. So you can't just say, this is Jerry, I'm in the office, I'm out of the office, leave a message and I'll get back to you. Or you can say, this is Jerry, I'm out of the office, press 4 if you need to reach me on my cell phone, or leave a message at the time. So if they press 4, it calls out to your cell phone, it's going to ring, and when you answer it says you have a call, press 1 now to be connected. If you hit 1, it sends that DTMF tone back to the phone system and it says, I want the call. The phone system is listening for that noise before it connects it. If you don't want the call, don't hit 1. It doesn't send that tone back to the phone system at the office saying to connect it, and it actually pulls the call back and they leave you a voicemail at the office. Now this is where you have all kinds of other options. If you do what's called mobile messaging, ESI phone systems has the capability to take that voicemail, convert it into a WAV file, and send it, and it'll email it out to your smartphone. iPhone, Android, whatever it is. As long as it's a smartphone capable of receiving a voicemail in an email format, it'll come out there. You also have the capability, while we're talking about cell phones, to do something called twinning, which is what a lot of people are taking advantage of today. What that is when they call the office and call your extension, it will simultaneously ring your cell phone at the same time. And so if you pick your cell phone up and you're talking to them, whenever you're done, you have the capability of hitting star, which will grab dial tone on the phone system, and you can transfer it back to another employee in your office. You can transfer it to an external number outside of the system, whoever you want to send it to, or you can put it directly in somebody's voicemail box.
Wait a minute, I'm like impressed here. So a call reaches out to my cell phone. This is new to me. I'm like, hey, this is Jerry, and it's Matt from General Floor, and I say, hey Matt, you know what, you really want to talk to Chad. Hold on a second. I can hit star, dial Chad's cell phone and say, hey Chad, here's Matt, something's going on, help me out.
That's true.
You know, how do I hang up? Just hang up?
Yeah.
And it transfers to Chad's cell phone.
Yeah, you can transfer it to him. You can transfer it to an internal extension. You can transfer it, put it straight in someone's voicemail.
But I have functionality back to the phone system using my cell.
That's correct.
That's awesome.
Hey, what caller ID do you see on your cell phone when that rings through?
If they're on a PRI, it'll take the true caller ID through the phone system all the way to your cell phone.
That's sweet.
If they're not on a PRI, it won't do that. It'll show Liberty is called.
Now, does any other phone system have that capability where you can hit star and do that back and forth?
Yes.
So they do have that?
Not all of them, but a lot of them do.
They may call it something different.
Right, but I thought most of them had it where it rang simultaneously, but you had to hang up and say you got to call back to the office.
Some do and some don't.
Okay, but that's like just us. That's something people have.
Like Samsung is a good example. They have Mobex mobile extension, and in its inherent form, out of the box, you can only get that call and hang up. You can buy their executive Mobex, which gives you DTMF back into the system to be able to transfer that call. That's a cost, though. In our case, twinning is built in.
What about Avaya? Can you do the star back, or we don't know?
I would imagine
know,
you
but I would think you could. With that.
What's happening is, but you got to realize a lot of the times when you're up against sales reps, I'm not knocking anybody, but you're up against people making $30,000, $40,000 a year versus a business owner that knows a lot of stuff yourself. So most of the time they're not doing demo presentations and being as thorough as this. They tend to leave a lot of things out, and that's why my demos are so thorough. Is I'll go through all kinds of features because you never know what their hot topics are. If you can keep them interested and keep them excited somewhat through the demo, chances are you're going to run across some things that are going to really get them excited. It usually starts off as who's ESI, I hadn't heard of you, and at the end of the 2-hour presentation, you've shown them all kinds of things and bells and whistles and unique things that you can do that the competitors can or
they didn't do it. They didn't show us any of that stuff.
That's right.
All right.
One unique thing with us and twinning is most competitors need a PRI or SIP trunks to do twinning. In fact, almost all of them, as far as I know.
Can't do it on analog
where we can
lines.
actually do it on analog lines, which you're using 2 lines then, obviously, but it's still for the small business that may have an extra line, you can still offer twinning to them.
Does twinning do anything with a Centrex line where you can like hook flash and grab another dial tone, or no? You have 2 different channels.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
And just so you know, off the record, mobility apps are kind of the big thing right now going on in the industry. I just went to a Unified Communications conference last week. I sat in on a ShoreTel show, and we're looking into doing some of this stuff too. But essentially what's happening is they're taking an app, just so you know what's out there, on your cell phone, like an iPhone or whatever. You'll hit the app, and basically what it does is you then take control of the telephone through Wi-Fi or whatever, and when you dial out, you choose to either show your cell phone's caller ID going out, or you can show the office, Liberty's main number going out. So when you want to call customers and things like that, if you don't want them to see your cell number, because then they may start calling your cell, you want to show your office number, you can dial that and send it out. And then you will also be able to see your station desk directory, who's on the phone, off the phone, somewhat in or out of the office, and all of that capability you're going to be able to do from your cell phone.
So it's like a cell phone app.
Yes.
It's a cell phone app, yeah, and essentially, or soon, we're going to be participating in that market at some point too.
So who's writing that software for ESI, or nobody's writing that yet?
We are working on that right now. That's about all I can say. So we will have some. We will be playing in that market at some
We've
time.
hired some Android engineers.
Yeah.
So that's as much as I can tell you.
We will be doing that at some point.
That's a good thing.
Someone was asking us about that.
So what about making your, like car dealers, making your phone, your cell phone, your extension? I don't even want to buy a phone. I just want this to be.
That's
You can
essentially
actually
what
do that.
That's what that will be.
And there's
Right.
apps out there today, Jerry, that'll work. ASI won't support them, so to speak, but with a SIP client app, and there's a SIP app on the Android phone called SIP Simple, I think. Well, a couple of my dealers have tested with a simple SIP extension license from us, and the SIP app. You can get this to ring as an extension. You get DTMF 2-way audio, and that's it's like a SIP
something
phone.
big for ESI. Something big for General Floor is they might have that Dover store has one guy there 90% of the time. When the phone rings, he might be in the back on a forklift taking the carpet and putting it in the back of your van. That app might be something like that's a deal maker, because hey, we can put that app on his cell phone.
The thing is when it comes out, I'm not sure if it's going to work on a comm server yet or not. I know it's going to work on the 900. The
Well,
comm
we
server
need to tell
ones.
him that right
So
now.
just tell him he can twin to his
But if you're going to
rack.
be recording it, I can't be saying that on the recording.
Oh, yeah, right.
We're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it, not on the comm server. So.
And then
So,
you're like,
but
off
you
the
could,
record. I'm
just,
like, actually,
you could
it's
pitch the
recording.
twinning aspect.
Right, we got the twinning, but I think that app coming forward, it says this is the best cordless phone you've ever had in the warehouse because it gets reception even when you're driving to Wawa.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
cool.
worse. I mean, I guess we could eventually, if they went with that model instead of this one, we could pull that out, put a 900 in,
And then we're off and running.
Yeah, and 900 compared to how much money they'd spend on everything else, that wouldn't be that big of a cost.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing too is once your cell phone essentially becomes an extension, when you're in the building, essentially how it works, you can be off your 3G, or I'm sorry, outside the office on your 3G or 4G. You come into the office, it basically connects itself to the Wi-Fi. If you're in a Starbucks, to the Wi-Fi. If you're over in China in a Wi-Fi, then you're not using your cell phone minutes. It's eliminating long distance or international rates that can be extremely expensive.
So we're talking over the wireless connection, not the cellular connection.
Yeah, you can do it exactly. You can do both.
Okay.
You would essentially be able